Hey YouTube, as the title says, 19th legend, new streak after not hitting last season, but I hit this season, and I'm going to go over the team. I'm going to go over a few battles, but I also want to go over a couple of main points of what you need to do to get to legend, how I got to legend this season, why I didn't get to it last season, why I've gotten it before last season, like 18 out of 19 seasons in a row there, how I got to legend. So we'll go over the team, we'll go over how to play it, we'll go over a few matchups. I'll highlight some key points of how I hit and stuff like that. And then during the significant amount of the battles, I will talk about some steps that you need to take if you want to hit legend. So thumbs up for actually hitting legend this season. Okay, the team is azumarill, double typhlosion. Sorry, not double typhlosion, double fire, typhlosion, and talonflame. Double weak to rock, double weak to ground in the back. Azumarill will beat them both. Azumarill has some bulk. Typhlosion is your safe swap, so if you see a ground or you see a rock on the lead, you stay in. If you do not see those, you go into Typhlosion. Typhlosion is a better safe swap. Thunder Punch, able to beat some of the water Pokemon in like the 2 shields, and Blast Burn, much like I kind of mentioned Shadow Machamp, but this weekend doesn't care about your typings. Shadow Typhlosion doesn't care about your typings with Shadow Blast Burn. So let's get into the battles here to see how I ran to legend. Cladle, good lead. This is where you want to see the ground if you're going to see it. They get into Ferret. I am going into Talonflame. There is no... I don't think Talonflame versus Typhlosion here matters too much. I think that Talonflame gives you a little more bulk, so you're a little less worried about burning all those shields here. I'll probably have to burn one here, which is fine. So we'll shield, incinerate down, and come up with a Brave Bird. So I'm pretty sure I'm just going to throw this Brave Bird blind here. Doesn't really matter what it is. It is the Cladle that is shielded. Okay, so grab that shield back where I was down. Azumarill, we'll have to see what's in the back here. They are staying in, which is fine. I can take any move, and I will definitely not be using a shield on Azumarill here. You need to save it for Typhlosion. There's a Rock Tomb. Going to get the super effective Ice Beam off with the Rock Tomb and Azumarill and non-stab Ice Beam. It's not going to take out by any means, but that is okay. I can live another one, and I probably do just let it go. And they have a Talonflame in the back, and just sort of advantage Typhlosion in the fact that I get that Thunder Punches in 10. So Thunder Punch super effective on the Talonflame. They go for the Incinerate to get to the move. If we CMP, I'm going to win CMP. So they do just let it go, but now it is just full out fast move down. Incinerates do a ton of damage. One of the best damage per energy move combos in the game. So is this a ground or rock? Nope. Instant swap into Typhlosion. Met with a Wiggly. Okay, met with a Wiggly. No idea why. I mean, the charms are adding up, even though I am a fire. But we'll get off Thunder Punch here. May grab the second shield. And I do grab the second shield, so they will be able to charm me. What are they doing? I don't understand the level of competition, because right now this is 2 extremely questionable moves. One, double shielding the charm unless you really want to keep like flip switch, and then burning that shield there. So don't fully understand what they were doing there. Drifblim comes back in, so this is just Brave Bird and Bale range. So there's your Brave Bird, instant into this, and now I got a shield advantage for Dugong. The first thing I will note, as I'll just kind of touch on a bunch of topics as we go through this legend run. The first thing I will note is the range of people showcasing battles from subscribers in like the 2,000 range to subscribers who are in the 3,300 range. You can see some distinct differences, especially when like you're going to see I got the video this afternoon coming with Home Slice Henry, energy management, counting, all this stuff. Though 100% that is what legends and 3,300 people do. I don't, but that's what most legends and higher leaderboard players do. And then at the bottom you have some mistakes and stuff, but you also have a very weird combo here of people who are in like the 22 to 2500 range that can count, can catch, and play like legends. And then you have this matchup here where I'm against someone who made two extremely bad mistakes immediately here. And the range of people you get in your elo range is crazy. So sometimes you're running up against like a top leaderboard player in your elo range, and sometimes you're running up against someone who maybe should not be there. So I don't know. Poison. This one's kind of a weird one. I'm staying in for a little bit. I probably won't stay in forever. I'm staying in for a little bit because it has Aqua Tail, and if I get out, I'm probably in trouble here. And I know they have Aqua Tail Crunch, so I know I can resist all the charge moves here. But I can't stay in too long, so I wouldn't be surprised if I let this go and then go Typhlosion here. Yeah, so there's your Typhlosion. I'll probably have to shield an Aqua Tail. That's okay. Knowing that we're now even shields and I have some energy, and we'll have to see what comes out here. And it is a Diggersby, but again, Diggersby is going to take a little to get to the Scorching Sands, and Shadow Blast Burn is a very, very hard-hitting move. So I'm going to shield, because if they go Scorching Sands, I can probably just farm down and come out with 100 energy. And they do, so I'm just going to commit to the farm down, have a ton of energy. I'm down 2 shields, but here is your water Pokemon in Azumarill, and I'm going to grab both shields back immediately with these Thunder Punches. So there's one. Here comes a second one. So I will just grab these shields right back. And then I need to, I'm going to come Talonflame because they only have one Pokemon left. I assume they're not running Hydro. If they have run Hydro, I lose. But if they don't, this is a, again, Brave Bird and Dip situation here. So get to the Brave Bird. I'll throw this and then I'll instant swap into a Azumarill here. So they're going to have to throw I don't know if they have to throw that soon, but if they don't know how much I have, play rough could be very scary. As you can see, it one-shots from this range. And I survive with 1 HP to get this fly off to take out the Azumarill here. And this was a 5-0, which got me to 2962, I believe. Yeah, 2962. And then Diggersby will stay this lead. And then Feraligatr. This was a tough one. Like, there is some really tough Pokemon, Feraligatr being one of them. Yes, you have Play Rough here, so it's overall a good matchup for Azumarill. But as you're going to see by these Hydros, they are going to really start adding up here. So you need to make a decision whether you want to just play this matchup out and then try and... Because Talonflame and Typhlosion can kind of deal with... Diggersby, because it's a quick attack user and the Scorching Sands. I mean, you resisted everything on the flyer there. Another option is to do this, is to come in with when you've already grabbed a shield, get some energy, and then the Diggersby comes back in, but I am again loaded here. So they will get off a move. Just a Fire Punch. That's okay. Get off my Fire Punch. And unfortunately for me, it is a Toxapex in the back. So, you know, not going to be able to overcome a Toxapex Feraligatr line on this one. Okay, so I've already kind of talked about, like, don't be discouraged depending in your elo range, because it seems like the quality of competition ranges significantly. So that's the first thing I will say. The second thing I will say is there's a couple things that have helped me this season. I think this is the first season in a while I am figuring out the meta. I've struggled the last few seasons. For those of you who are newer to this channel and you want to just brief history here, I've always been fantastic at finding core breakers to the Great League meta or creating some just absolutely dominant teams. So rein it back to like seasons like, I don't know, I forget when the Walrein Trevenant Registeel core trio was. I found Kanto Ninetales as the core breaker there. Like, and again, if you know the history of like the Play Pokemon Championships, I used Kenzo Ninetales for like 6 months, and then Cindy won the Vancouver regionals. Is like, and I was like, whoa, who know that Ninetales was such a great core breaker here? It's like, here's 12 videos that I've done over the past like 6 months that says that. So and then I used Togekimaru to beat the Noctowl Lantern core. So I was always good at like finding the core breakers to the meta. The second thing I was good at doing was figuring out teams that you can run 400 elo with, and that worked for a long time, where I can like find a good team. One of my most successful Ultra League teams was Dragonite, then turned to Pidgeot on the lead, and then double watered Jellicent and Swampert. This before all the nerfs to Swampert. That line used to give me like 300 to 400 elo in the Ultra League, and I can run that season over season. Now, what has happened in the last few seasons is the meta, in my opinion, has become more RPS. There are a ton of viable options in the Great League, right? I kind of mentioned how, yes, you're going to see a lot of top-ranked Pokemon, but let me just open up PV Poke here. Yes, there's the top Pokemon, Clodsire, Jumpluff, Lapras that are going to be everywhere, Malamar. You're going to see a crap ton of those, of course. But, like, let's go down to the 40s. 43, Golisopod. 45, Ferret. 46, Shadow Marowak. Non-Shadow Jumpluff is at 47. Ace Sandslash is at 48. And then you get to Shadow Drapion at 54. And then you get to Credillia at 57. And then you get to Blastoise at 68. And Superior's at 74. Wiggly's at 76. There are so many good Pokemon in the Great League right now. So there are realistically probably like 50 usable Great League Pokemon. And I'm going to have to ask for some help here, but I'm going to do what do you think are going to be the move updates next season? Because I don't know. I think in terms of options for the Great League, you probably have the most options now that you've had in a long time, which could be seen as a healthy meta. However, it also leads into more variability, and that could lead into more RPS. So there's kind of two things that happen there. You have more options, so finding that team that can like core break or really work well in a sort of meta is tougher to do when there's so many different Pokemon that can come at you. And the second thing that I've seen over the seasons is there have been, before it was you can run with a team for 2 weeks and learn how to use it and you will consistently grow. The problem in the content creator space that we are now, and I feel like I know content creators have always had, there's two things that make the meta, content creators and PV Poke. And I feel like over the last few seasons, the content creator teams have gone freaking wild. And it's almost like if a content creator puts out a team, within the first couple hours, everyone is using it. And then everyone is like trying to counter it or stuff like that. And that leads to some like a huge changeover in the meta. So you're unable to find a team that works because the meta is constantly adapting to all these content creator teams. And it's happening very fast. Which one is this? I know I got to 29.91. Yeah, a 3-2 that got me to 29.91. And then I'm going to a couple more matchups to get me to Legend. So that's kind of where I've struggled, was that there's just more Pokemon, wider meta, and the meta is constantly adapting. So trying to get into a rhythm is not as easy as it used to be in the past. I've already kind of gone over some of my own weaknesses in that, I mentioned that there's people in the 2500 who can like count moves and know the optimal fast move timing and stuff. And I somewhat know optimization of timing and the move counts for the main meta Pokemon, but I do not know them for the most. And for the most part, I'm not counting and doing that when I play. So a lot of people have put in the effort and have passed me in terms of skill. And I think that I've have enough skill that when I'm on, I can play with the best of them. And I think I've kind of showing this on my Legend run that I'm playing with the best of some of these people and got there. So yeah, so you can see over the last, and we'll do top teams tomorrow, but I have basically 4 teams that I've showcased this week that were mine that I gained elo every single day with. And so that leads me to my other point. I have done a very, very, very good job at limiting my losses. Now, for those of you who do not know how the elo system works, you really, really need to avoid 0.5s and 1.4s. So basically, how basically the system works is if you go 0.5, you're going to lose like 70 to 75 points, 70 to 80 points. If you go 1.4, you're going to lose like 45 points. If you go 2.3, you're going to lose like 10. 3.2, you're going to gain 10. 4.1, you're going to gain like 40. And 5.0, you're going to gain like 70. I have done a fantastic job at limiting my 1.4s and 0.5s. In this legend run, as you're going to see, I lost my last matchup, but it was a loss ticket for a 3-2 instead of a 4-1. And most of my losses with teams, this one and a few others, they were like, I would go 7-3, 8-3, and it was just like 4-1s and like a 2-3 or something like that. So I really got the good elo on the front end and didn't lose it on the back end. And that comes down to, I don't know, I think it comes down to like a bunch of things. It comes down to like making sure you have a team that works, not getting in your head if you're on a little losing streak. Like this team, I showed you 2 losses in a row there. I went that 5-0, and then I lost the first 2 matches after that 5-0. And I was like, oh, was that 5-0 kind of lucky? And I just went 0-5, like 0-2 to start here. Is this a bad team? And then I kind of like saved it. Maybe I went like 2-3 in that one, but kind of saved it, didn't lose there. And my win rate is the highest win rate percentage I had maybe ever hitting Legend. My win percentage rate this season to hit Legend was almost 55% win percentage. Normally my win percentage rate is a 51 to 52%. So 3% higher, 3 to 4% higher is actually a significant amount of percentage higher. And I attribute that to not forcing yourself to play when you're not in a good headspace. So again, for those of you who are new to the channel, I at one time had the most GBL games in the world. I played every single set, every single day for the first 18 seasons. If there was a day where you got 100 battles, I did 100 battles. Every other day, the 25. I would get 25 to 2,700 battles per season, and I played every single season. So I definitely had the most GBL battles probably in the world. And then I missed Legend 1 season. And then I just, like, between work and kids and doing 2 videos here, I just did not have the time to grind everything. So I take time off. And that has been probably one of the better things I've done. It comes down to, like, I've taken this season, my win percentage is 54, 55%, probably closer to 55. But I have taken, I did it in like 1,000 games. I hit Legend in like just over 1,000 games, something like that. I forget what it said at the front. 1,000 or 1,100, something like that, which is quite low for where I normally am at this time. Like, again, 2 weeks left in the season, I'm usually at like 2,200 plus. So I played half the amount of games, and it's taking the time off when you don't like the league, when you don't like the meta. If it's a single typing meta, I will not play it. If we're on the second week in a row of a bad meta, like a cup, like it was like Spring Cup second week in a row, or Master League, I took the entire week off. And it's not forcing yourself to play to grind. Like, there's plenty of time to make up those wins and losses. You do not need to do it sort of ASAP there. You don't need to grind out. And I think it like cleared my headspace for starters. And I think that it allowed me to also kind of avoid some of the hot top people, right? Because normally when I was grinding and I was like almost hitting Legend with 6 weeks left in the season, you're facing those like Thos and top leaderboard players who end up in like the 33, 3,400. So this is the one I lost 2-3. Sorry, I lost, but 3-2 to sneak into Legend. So kind of taking my time taking my time allowed me to just kind of play it. Not that the competition's bad by any means, but it allowed me to not have to take those. I think why my win percentage is 55 instead of 51 is I'm not losing to those and Axon and all those other leaderboard players 6 weeks ago, right? I just did not play during those 6 weeks. So those losses were now just not played. And then I let them kind of pass me, and then I kind of caught up here. And I will admit as well, just to be like, well, you did this all on your own? Yes, sort of. I can guarantee in the last week, at least 5, maybe 6 or 7 legends top lefted when they probably could have won. So I definitely picked up, some of those 2-3s and 3-2s where there's the difference of 20 to 30 points there. I definitely can attribute some of those to some legends who just top left. So not that it's ever required for a legend to top left, but it is appreciated by those of us grinding with 2 weeks left in the season. So again, hit it. I don't care. Like again, this is my 19th time hitting legend. There is no incentive to hit legend. You'll see in the Home Slice Henry interview, it's either going to go in the interview or some shorts where we talk about, like, I feel bad for people who hit legends or on the leaderboard. I wish there was some incentive to hit legend, because, like, what is the incentive? A pose, which is like not even a great pose this season around, or a pika libre. I've got 19 of those. Who cares? Like, there really is no anything outside of FOMO and personal requirement, like personal desire to. There is no reason that you need to hit legend. And the first time I missed it, I was just after I had 16 straight legend seasons, and then I missed it. So I was like, oh, that's kind of disappointing. And then I got another 2, and then I missed last season. I'm just like, oh, I actually don't care that I missed this season. So am I happy to hit this season? Yeah, because I got like the type A personality. I want to try and grind. If I want to try and hit it, I'll try and hit it. But it's one of those things where I've come to I think I'm at a better spot with the game. And I think you need to be in a good spot with this game too, because I've seen the subscribers who get frustrated, and I've seen people who are just like at their wits' end with this game, or if you get the one-turn lag, very real. Like, a lot of things about this game can make you frustrated. I think if you are in like a good spot with this game, I think that playing it with a good headspace, I think allows you to play better. And that's the thing. Like, I had a lot of fun in the last couple weeks grinding to legend here, and I probably had the most fun. I probably had the most fun grinding to legend in the last 2 weeks that I've had in the last 2 years of playing GBL. Because the last 2 years of GBL, I've not liked playing GBL, but these last 2 weeks I have, and I attribute it to everything I just kind of mentioned in this video. Anyways, that is it. So tomorrow, Home Slice Henry interview this afternoon. Tomorrow morning, it's a league turnover. Great League, Ultra League, Master League. So we'll do top Great League teams. That's mostly going to be the teams from the last week that helped me get to legend. And then in the afternoon, I think I'll do. I'm almost hoping it comes out. The news comes out, so I can do that in the afternoon. But if the news for the next season is not out yet, which I do not expect to be, I'll do this is my expectation for move nerfs and buffs. And then when the news does come out, I will be in Toronto on a work trip. So unlike all these other content creators who do this full time, I actually have a full-time 9-to-5 job, and I'm in Toronto for a conference, so I'm not even home. I don't even think I'll have my stuff. I'll maybe bring my small wireless microphone and try and I'll see if I can download OBS on my work computer and just try to do it at night from my hotel room. So maybe you'll see something from me if the news drops, but it definitely will not be when it drops, because I'll be at the conference or I'll be on the train into Toronto. Anyways, that is it. Thanks for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one.